Hello there folks, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, a place where I discuss different topics, usually on introspection and spirituality, game design from time to time. And this video is part of Wisdom Shorts, a hint that I kind of had as a flash in my mind with the topic, a topic that's been, I can't say bothering, but it's been haunting me a while. And it's the point that I feel some very few people might be struggling with, and that of not wanting to have a child mainly because they would feel they are too bad for that. Okay, this idea has been something that's also been, you know, uh, in my mind for a while, but I realized that the vibration of that thought matched the point of, self doubt and fighting against me, rather than a conscious thought of saying, hey, I'm actually way too bad to actually have a child. In the sense that, uh, not in the sense of being bad, not being good at anything, but being rather not ready. Okay, many people might think that they're not ready, or some people who are a bit more aware of certain things might say that they are too bad in the sense that they have a lot of unhealed issues that they don't wish to pass on to their children. If you're ever one of these, just think about one thing. In a world of monsters where everyone is, just focusing on their narcissistic aspects, on their sociopathic aspects, and how to keep breathing those things in, and how to breed their own demons also, and make them stronger and more numerous through all sorts of victimization and theater they're playing. The point is, in a world of such monsters, okay, in a world of people who choose to become monsters, okay, why do you think that if your child would become another monster, why would you think that would be a bother? Okay, the world is already full of heinous people and ill-intentioned folks. Okay, irrespective of where they are, be it politics, economics, or whatever place they have or title they have in society. Okay, because you have to understand one thing. Children are very wise. Children are very powerful, and it's only meaning that we adults give to them that is simply and shortly put weakening their resolve more and more, because the more meaning we put on their backs, we simply limit their wings and limit their flight, okay, limit their imagination. Okay, you can believe as much as you want in all that illusion that you know programming exists. There is no such thing as programming. No one is ever programmed. Okay, people just accept things. Okay, you're not programmed to do something. You just accept to do something. Okay, you just accept it as a normal and you simply comply to it. There is no such thing as programming. Okay, if you repeat something enough times, well, your intellect might actually pick it up, and well, the intellect job is to simply work in your favor and support constantly 24/7 every idea and thoughts and belief that you have. So if you believe that you suck, guess what? You have an ardent defender fighting to preserve that idea that you suck. That is why you have also many people simply struggling, and well, the only thing that is reinforced in their life is the fact that they suck through anything that is interpretable as a personal failure, well, and anything similar. If you believe that your child would become a failure because you think, okay, you believe, therefore you have a certain range of thoughts, okay, that aren't necessarily scientifically proven. Okay, they don't have a foundation necessarily, because belief means accepting something without a necessity for proof. So the point about this is, if you believe your child will become another monster like the others because you have a lot of unhealed issues, perhaps in their strengths the child will be capable of healing those. And as karma goes, and as everything goes in life, if they heal certain things, they can also help you heal that. Because healing means just removing some unnecessary meaning that you have been attributing things, concepts, ideas, events, actions taken, and literally everything in life. When you give it a meaning, you're technically creating a little wound because you're starting to play more and more a certain play that, well, you naturally have no interest in. Okay, and children are very wise. Okay, children are very capable of a lot of things, except situations in which, adults are consciously or unconsciously, willing or unwillingly, simply reducing their potential, because there are a lot of heinous people like that who wouldn't want others to become better than them. It is an egotistical approach to life. It is a fear, okay, so-called fear of the death of the self, right? Control and self-control are lacking, because when you're afraid that someone else is becoming better than you will feel that you will basically die if that would happen. Okay, that is still a survival instinct. Okay, it's a third chakra impulse. Okay, survival of the self. So, if you ever think as a parent that your child would become or will actually suffer, well, the point is, if you give them the proper teachings in life, okay, because if you ended up thinking things like that, you probably have a wisdom of your own, but at the same time, you're just breeding, some more of your little demons, okay, because the point is, once you have a nice potential, okay, you can simply create new life that will have little to no suffering, because you're not giving it much suffering from your own self, right? When you're realizing life is good and you don't have to create all the drama that most other people are creating just because they need some validation, that's when you should know that your child will be, much better, okay, will be in much more capable hands. So they won't be having that much theater and pain to simply take upon themselves through their own DNA, through, generational karma. Okay, and that's why you will most likely end up creating even a brighter life, and hence why certain beings or thought forms you've been creating in life, or simply drawn from others, will try to make sure that you don't give birth to children, because, well, they have to use self-doubt against you, right? How come people who suffer a lot aren't necessarily anymore the target of demons or, such negative thought forms? Well, it's very easy, because those already create their own thought forms that, they use to maintain the theater they have, right? So the point is very simple. Other entities are simply no longer way interested in that, because, well, they are impulsive. They are interested probably in some challenge. Okay, so the point is, well, this interest isn't necessarily fully conscious, okay, but when there's already a lot of competition, it's much easier to try to make your way in a person who is seeking to become genuine, because they don't have as many thought forms. Okay, there's so much more space, and usually such people end up being much livelier, okay, compared to people who just moan and complain and live in a very limited vibration. So if you're capable of such a wisdom that you might actually be detrimental to your children, well, think that your children, if you give them the right raising, okay, the right teachings in life, they might discover things that you yourself may not have discovered. Because if you don't taint them with limitations and with victimhood, they won't reduce their potential. Okay, they will be still life that is unbound by meaning. Okay, and well, limitation that usually comes through meaning. So the point is, just keep up doing the good work and don't worry about such petty little things. Okay, the point is, so many people are just giving birth to children. Everyone is going through what they need to go. Everything is happening, and not necessarily for reasons. Okay, everything is happening, and when something happens, just feel free to become hurt or to become wiser. This is the only choice that one has in life. The point is, if you think that you will give birth to children and you will be a torment to them, well, feel free to check up on yourself and, make sure that these thoughts are dealt with by making peace with them and integrating those wounded parts of yourself into your own self. If you don't feel ready to have a child in this world, it's not gonna be a problem, because in the end there is no sin in not having a child. Okay, especially in this world where so many, angry, crazy, twisted people give birth to children, and the number of people is getting out of control in a way. It is quite a responsible act, okay, to simply not give birth to children and preserve yourself the way you are. But at the same time, remember that if you're conscious enough to think something like this, okay, that you might be detrimental to your children, and you're afraid that you might give your children your bad sides, why not think about you giving the good sides? Because the world can easily do with any new number of monsters, okay? Because there's always, hideous people giving birth to children because they always need something to feed off of, okay? At the same time, you might actually, through your own wisdom, give a lot of positive aspects to your children. And if you've had a bad life and you still exist in limitations, perhaps you can give your own children the better life that you didn't have. At least that much strength you should focus on. If your life didn't feel good enough, you can make it better through your own children and giving them a proper, raising. The very simple fact is, if they go on with such a good raising, they will become much better than you. They will have a much better life. So, being less inhibited, they can perform much better in the world. At least that the world definitely needs. Okay? Be it the fact that you will also give them some limitations and certain perceptions that you thought of. If you give them a proper, uprising, most likely they can go with that. Okay? They can go beyond certain limitations because they have a power of their own. I've been speaking with children, with people even half my age, and I know I can actually feel that. It's just that they have a lot of limitations, yes, but with the proper guidance, they can go beyond many limitations. They can go beyond, walls that, previous generations teach them to build in this never-ending saga of, security, okay, and a seeking of certainty behind the walls. But when you barricade yourself behind walls, make sure you have a door, and an escape route, okay? But the moment you have a door, the problem with many people is that they don't want a door because someone can come in. But if you just build walls and you don't have a door, well, you've just created yourself your tomb. So all this being said, hopefully this video was a bit inspiring. I know it felt a bit all around, but it's just a fresh idea. And instead of just wasting it by thinking, about it and letting it go, I said, why not have a video created and, well, hop it on YouTube, even if it kind of sounded a bit all around like usual. You're loved and appreciated. Take care of yourself. You're doing the best you can at the right pace for you, okay? Never forget this. Never forget that you are doing the best you can. It's always the best that one can that they perform, because the body also has its own, physical limitations, okay? Don't bypass those limitations unless you are ready to do so, because sooner or later you will suffer their consequences. So all this being said, stay awesome, live life bright, you are appreciated. Ferinjan Board signing out.